Hey. Hi, Rupert. How are you?
Hi, Joanna. Nice to meet you.
So, how's it going? Thanks for your feedback on the Indonesian operations and the strategy, but I feel it was a little bit shorter than I expected from somebody as experienced like you. So, would you mind elaborate a little bit and tell me your opinion about the acquisition strategy?
Yeah, maybe I have another point to start off. Maybe you asked me for this meeting. So what is your what is your goal of the meeting? Like, what do you want?
Yeah, I would like to talk to you and understand a little bit better what's your perspective on the strategy of AMM in Indonesia, since we need to expand these operations, and the company really believing in this and appointed me for to lead this effort.
Yeah.
And I know that you spend a lot of time in Indonesia, and so you definitely have a better view on the country compared to what I can have.
Yeah, well, I guess it's a tough it's gonna be tough assignment, I think, the expansion in Indonesia. From my experience, I think, we talked about two options: either grow organically or by acquisition. And as I already wrote in my memo, I think there are more valid points to grow organically in Indonesia than by acquisition. But in the end, it's your choice. You're the...
Yeah, but don't you think it's going to be very, very time-consuming to grow organically in a place that is in a market that is so fragmented like Indonesia?
Well, true. It's going to be. It will need some more time. I agree. I totally agree. But it will definitely be cheaper. But the most important thing, in Indonesia, you have to grow a network. Otherwise, you will have no access to the country, and you can only do this by growing organically and not by. And we don't have. We're not there to actually. We still don't have our network to grow by acquisition. You need to. Indonesia is huge. There's different culture. Like, if you go to one spot, it's totally different from another spot. So you really have to grow expertise, and you have to speak the language. You have to understand the culture. You have to get to know the key persons there. And by just going in and try aggressively and try to do acquisitions, I think it's not gonna work. You're gonna so that are my points, actually.
How would you actually grow there? You would grow organically by following this strategy, because one of the reasons why I'm a bit skeptical is that you guys have been in Indonesia for so long, but the team never really progressed to a level in which delivered outstanding results,
so that's a bit. That was a bit the problem, because the team was not there. It was not on the ground. I think that was the main constraint, that we didn't grow faster. So you definitely need a team there on the ground. You cannot operate this from Singapore. That's one point. I guess in both options, if you want to grow organically or through acquisition, you need people there. Yeah.
If we decide to send a team there, and would you support the acquisition strategy?
Well, I mean, I would definitely prefer to grow organically. I think we could discuss another option, but that would mean I have some conditions if I would really agree on this acquisition strategy.
What conditions?
Well, you need a team. That's what I said.
Okay.
I guess.
How many people?
I would say 5 minimum. You need. I think the team would need some authority on the ground to make decisions. Like depending on who you're sending, if you want to send me, I would definitely want more salary.
The thing is like. I mean, an authority on the ground would anyway need to follow the strategy that we discussed in Singapore.
Yeah, so definitely. I agree on that. Actually.
So it cannot have an independent authority. So if with the CEO we agree on acquisition strategy, then that authority will need to follow that.
No, what I was more thinking of is the team doesn't need to decide on strategic topics, but you have to give them some kind of autonomy to decide on, I don't know, to give contracts, to negotiate contracts, to, I don't know, hire interns, like these kind of things. Like, I'm not talking about the overall strategy. I mean, this comes from the headquarters. That's clear.
I also understand that you have some personal interest, right, of going to Jakarta.
Well, yeah. I mean, it worked quite well, but I would definitely enjoy being in Jakarta.
So the
what is your?
Yeah, I mean, look, I want. The thing is, like, I want to maintain. I believe in an acquisition strategy.
Yeah.
So I want somebody that can support the strategy and somebody that I can trust he will deliver the strategy that we lay down with the CEO. I hear your opinion and I value that, and I don't disagree with the fact that, like, at some point the company will need to grow organically and be sustainable, but timing is very important. So we need to act fast in order to gain market share. Otherwise, we're going to be completely overwhelmed by increasing competition and fragmented market. So I will be very, very aggressive at the beginning and then stabilize what we acquire, and then at that point grow organically, but only at the second stage. So I want somebody that can execute the strategy that we lay down together with the CEO, and I believe in your capabilities and connection in the country in order to execute this.
Yeah.
So in terms of salary, I would be happy to send you there. In terms of salary, you are earning right now Singapore money, which is, if we translate that in Indonesia rupiah, is already a very high salary for being there. So I don't really see an argument there in increasing considering the fact that, like, I would appoint you as the local authority there. So.
Well, I would say the value I can bring you is speak not only Bahasa but all the local languages as well. So it's gonna be hard to find someone with these skills. So this is definitely a value I can add, and I think this should definitely be worth the salary increase.
Yeah.
Because as I said, it's super. I mean, you're choosing with the acquisition. You're choosing anyway the more difficult way to go. I'm not sure if you're aware of this company who didn't succeed at all in Indonesia with a very aggressive acquisition strategy. So choosing this difficult path, this would also put some more pressure on me. So I cannot really negotiate on. I mean,
yeah,
I would actually. I need this 20% increase in salary. Otherwise,
yeah,
I cannot really support the acquisition strategy.
So an Indonesian-based company pays 50% of what you would earn in the same role in Indonesia. So the conversion from Singapore to Indonesia rupiah basically puts you in a position in which you're going to earn the double of any of your peer there. So that plus the authority of executing the strategy for us, I think, is already
okay, but I mean,
plus you're moving to a city where, you know, personally you will be happier because your family there. So I think
okay,
it could be
I think on the authority point, this is once again, I mean, having more authority is also having more responsibility. So yeah, this justifies the salary increase for me. And then, I mean, it's still a Singapore-based company, even though it's not an Indonesian-based company. You cannot really compare it to an Indonesian company doing the same stuff. I'm educated abroad. I worked here for the last 15 years, so I mean, it means also a career step for me. So I really don't see.
Look, something that like we could negotiate on is to keep that the base salary the same. So basically transforming yours and giving you a bonus based on performance. So that would probably like give you a 20%. We basically put a variable salary of 20% of your annual salary based on the performance of the firm. This will basically empower you also to perform and implement the strategy that we lay down in Singapore.
I think we can discuss about that, but I'm not willing to sacrifice the whole 20% because I still think you don't have a better candidate than me. I mean, do you have one who speaks like all the languages in Indonesia?
I don't think you can earn the same amount of money from any other company then.
Let's maybe suggestion from my side. Let's talk about an increase in salary of 10%, and then the rest we will link to an incentive, to a bonus.
No, I cannot. The thing is, like, if it is about base salary, basically I don't have room for improvement. So we could talk about a few percentage improvement. But if it is a variable salary, yes, then I can push a little bit longer, a bit more, because of course, if the company performs well, I'm sure that management will be happy to pay out.
not sure if we can really agree on something, actually. I have the impression we're not on the same, not sure if I see a common future at this point, because I mean, I made my arguments. I think I'm one of the most skilled employees you have. I'm very loyal since 15 years.
But you are, and I'm not denying that. I'm just saying. I just believe that there's no justification for an increase in salary given the fact that we're moving you to Jakarta, and there is already. I mean, the package of Singapore move to Jakarta is already gonna be substantially a better deal in terms of lifestyle for you. So I mean, if you go, I can push for an increase of 5% of base salary, but that's the only thing. That's the maximum I can get to, or a variable compensation of 20% of your annual.
Okay, so let's discuss 5%. Are you willing? I think there should be some incentive, and I definitely wanna. If we are successful, I want to benefit from this. So, could we agree on a 5% raise in salary and on a bonus? On the rest would be linked to a bonus.
So we can say instead of 20% variable, it would be 5% base and 15% bonus, if at discretion of the management, if we feel that things are carried out in a proper way.
Well, I don't want to be valued upon. I think that this should be linked to numbers. For example, we can say if we succeed in buying, 5 companies within the first 2 years.
Yeah, but it's not about how many a company we acquire. I want to see results, and I want to see especially that I can trust you, and in laying down the strategy for the firm. So the variable salary will be something that definitely we will be happy to pay out if results are there, and then if we feel that you are an extension of management in Indonesia.
Yeah, but what are results for you? It has to be linked to something concrete. I don't want to be valued by the management if they're.
Well, if you execute what we lay down without necessarily be tied to numbers, then will correspond to your variable salary. Because I don't really have a numbers right now.
Okay,
so I can say if you execute what we lay down in Singapore, will correspond to the 15% variable.
Well, yeah, I think that could be a deal.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay.